Let's take a look at some of our national and international headlines for this Monday morning, July 17th, 2017. As always, there are more stories than we have time for. If you'd like a more comprehensive look at the news, become a subscriber, and I will send you 30 to 40 minutes of audio news, something you can download and listen to on your way to work. RadioFreeSpeech.com. Check it out. A Chinese spy ship was identified off the coast of Alaska during the recent THAAD missile defense test. This is the same Chinese ship that was spotted back in January, observing some other missile tests that were being conducted down in the Koreas. Pakistan has accused India of a deadly cross-border attack in which several Pakistan soldiers were killed. With the Brexit issue looming, the discussions, I believe, are resuming today. Secretary Hammond is warning of the uncertainty, and that is why a number of UK investors are not investing. They're holding off until they see where things actually end up between Europe and Britain. Donald Trump's approval rating is at a historic low, in fact, the lowest a president has had in about 70 years or so as the Russian scandal continues to swirl. And Palestinians have rejected the Israeli security measures at the al-Aqsa mosque compound. If you recall what happened on Friday, during Friday prayers, there was a shooting, and Israel responded by basically closing down the mosque. First time in, I believe, about 40 years or so that they've actually closed off the mosque for prayers. And they have now instituted new security measures, including metal detectors going into the mosque area. A number of people, including the country of Jordan, which actually is kind of in charge of the mosque area, have rejected this as saying that now Israel is basically asserting control over the mosque. This is the Temple Mount Mosque, by the way. In Chicago, a prominent anti-violence activist was killed over the weekend, as well as a 9-year-old. A number of shootings in Chicago, a very violent weekend there. And in Mali, thousands of people took to the streets over the weekend to march against a referendum on the Constitution. Australia is shivering through a very chilly winter, the coldest temperature that they've had there in years. As you know, down under it is actually winter in July. It's one of the coldest Julys on record. Senator McCain basically absent from the Senate as he's recovering from a surgery, and that is delaying the health care vote, as between 8 and 10 senators still have, quote, serious concerns about the replacement for Obamacare. Revellers in Canada have been told by the police, no naked dancing. There's an annual country music festival that apparently has been getting more and more complaints. Even so far this year, people dancing like no one's watching, like literally taking their clothes off to dance. And they're saying, people are watching, please keep your clothes on. And we've got some huge rallies in Turkey marking the failed 2016 coup. And in Venezuela, the vote going on this weekend, an unofficial poll over a new constituent party. Basically, the president has proposed a new assembly that the opponents say this is just one step closer to total dictatorship. Let's have a vote on him. Is the symbolic referendum? According to the president, lacks legitimacy. That'll be my substantial commentary today. And in Australia, of course, there must be a number of really important issues to discuss. One of the most important, according to a local party, is the abolition of female crosswalk signals. I guess one of the public works people was inspired by his daughter, his 8-year-old daughter, asking why all the crosswalk stick figures were men. And so they started putting in crosswalk stick figures showing women crossing the street, you know, the little blinking white and red. Well, now this political party has made it a point of their party platform to not have female crosswalk signals. Very, very important. There you have it. That's the news. If you've got a news tip for me, send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com.